Hello there and welcome to this edition of Creative Critique. Now this video will be the first in a series of reviews that focus upon what is traditionally referred to as the summer blockbuster season. And although technically we are in spring right now, who's being pedantic? I am. But this film is the one that's going to kick off my series of reviews and therefore the season in general for the big films coming up in the coming months. And the film in question is Marvel's latest entry, and in fact the 15th entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that film is of course Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now it's pretty much going to be certain, if you've not seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy, you know what, you're still going to have fun watching this film. There will be things in the film that, of course, will have a little harking back to the first film, possibly, and particularly with a particular one or two story arcs. But it's an interesting film, this one, because it really can be defined as a standalone film. You could literally come into this film and watch it and enjoy it and not have to have seen previous entries in the Marvel, either the Marvel Cinematic Universe or particularly, obviously, the previous Guardians of the Galaxy film, which has to be said, in the Marvel Universe, is hard, isn't it? Because everything is so interlinked these days. But because of the way the film is wrote and the way the script goes, other than, like I say, a couple of characters, maybe arcing stories that were mentioned in the first film that come to fruit a bit more in this one, there's a lot of stuff in here that is of standalone storytelling, and just simply because it is such a funny and witty script, and can just keep pummeling you with jokes after jokes after jokes, and after beautiful visual sequence after beautiful visual sequence, and so on and so forth. So it's a film that just keeps on rolling, keeps on going, and gives you the sort of rate of jokes and fun that early in the year the Lego Batman film did as well. Again, a film where you almost hit with too much stuff that's good that you need to watch it instantly again. And, you know, this does fall into that category as well. So, I was now going to a bit of the film, of course. So, our returning team, of course, are Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper as our main Guardians of the Galaxy, with support, of course, from Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, also returning as well, with new entries of characters in the form of Elizabeth Debicki, Sean Gunn, Sylvester Stallone. Yes, Sylvester Stallone, believe it. Believe it indeed. And Kurt Russell. And how can I forget as well? Pom Klementieff as well. I'm glad I said that right. And so there's plenty of characters to usually get overwhelm the screen with. But what is a rather interesting facet of this film is that pretty much every single character in the film gets worthy screen time. Maybe one or two main characters maybe don't suffer the fault of that by having the support characters actually have funny moments and on-screen significance to jokes and to plots. But the supporting cast is more than a supporting cast. That is most certain, because they are heavily involved in the life and soul of the film. Wonderfully performed, as usual, by the main cast. I will pick up on one of the particular things where I just mentioned there about particular cast members maybe not getting a full airing in terms of the very main principal Guardians cast, and maybe Zoe Saldana. She has little bits of involvement. Well, no, she has quite a bit of involvement, but in terms of her significance of her character to the team and therefore the story generally, her character probably suffers slightly from that aspect. But it comes with positives on the opposite side of that. So, it has to be said, as always, Chris Pratt is an absolutely, particularly in this role, wonderful to watch. There's no doubt in my particular mind that Dave Bautista, in particular, gets the absolute pick, and it's obviously because of part of his character and such, that his comedic moments are truly wonderful. They are truly wonderful. As always, the special effects are extremely good. The visual, there's a visual style to the film that you can't help but you could literally almost want to, this is not a criticism, by the way, almost want to watch it without the action, without the sort of toing and throwing of action and so forth. You could, just as a visual pure of scene to scene, to world to world to world. It is wonderful to watch, wonderfully designed, and as like I say, it's offering up something that the blockbusters, and particularly Marvel, because I've been heavily critical of Marvel recently, it gives it a life and soul, and gives you characters that are extremely flawed. Extremely flawed. Not people with particular traits and tropes, but characters who have done bad things, really bad things, and yet are then doing really good things in particular to storylines and arcs and things like that. These are human beings, or just beings having a living and living. Yeah, calm down, Craig. So, engaging characters, truly wonderful performances, in particular on the form of Michael Rooker. Wonderful to bring that character more involved. Absolutely. And that dynamic again with Karen Gillan and Zoe Saldana is an interesting one, and you do want to know more about it. You do get a taste of it, but you do want to know a bit more about it as well. So for me, this is a film that is, of course, we had the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, and it was hugely successful, and I absolutely love the film, no doubt. And there's been quite a few reviews stating that this is still just as enjoyable, but maybe not as critically well acclaimed. Well, what I would say to possibly that sort of argument is, fair enough in terms of maybe it's doing the same sort of thing again, but the whole point of the characters and sort of the way the first film was written was pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for now? Irreverence to a lot of what's going on, and the irreverence is just as relevant here. It is, let's have fun, let's just, yes, we'll involve certain story arcs in particular, maybe character developments and things like that, but the whole point of this film is to have one hell of a good time, and it is absolutely fulfills that mantra. There's no doubt. James Gunn, you're doing the wonderful work that we want you to do again. There's no doubt in my mind, and I can't wait to see how the Guardians play into the Infinity War next year. What sort of role are they going to play? I really do hope it's a significant one to spice up that on Earth Marvel universe. But yeah, I think it was a truly wonderful piece of blockbuster cinematic grandeur, if you will. It filled the screen, it engaged the audience, and to points where you didn't have control of your laughter, and that is what this film will do to you in particular moments with the dialogue. It is truly a wonderful experience cinematically. It's great. It is great. It's a shame that I wanted to instantly see it straight away, but I couldn't. So there we go, yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The first film in my series of videos regarding summer blockbusters. We've got it about before the US. They're getting it in the coming days, I believe, and they will be heavily pleased with what they have to witness, I would say, as well. So there we go. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, my next film probably that will be making its appearance on the Blockbuster series of reviews Horizon will be Alien Covenant. And now for anybody that does know me, this is a big thing because I'm a huge Alien fan, and particularly of the first two films. So I've purposely avoided every single trailer since the first teaser trailer. So let's have that completely fresh view of the film from a, well, I'm not going to say expert, well, I was about to, wasn't I? But from somebody who is heavily, probably going to fanboy, possibly, regarding that film. So, I've got my fingers crossed, and I really hope Ridley Scott doesn't do what he did with Prometheus and does something a bit more engaging, put it that way. So there we go, yeah, Alien Covenant will be my next film on that horizon. So I thank you very much if you are for watching. I hope I've done enough to possibly make you subscribe, and I hope to see and speak to you again very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.